Man, oh man, we got to do a lot better, people. Excuse me. Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, bro. So today, I watched the Blockstar interview on No Jumper. If you don't know who Blockstar is, he is one of the people who alleged, well, nah, he already got convicted for who robbed past rapper Pop Smoke of Brooklyn, New York. And I was very not interested in watching this interview because I know that he shouldn't have done this interview without any legal representation available to him readily on his side. Now, the biggest thing that I found, well, I'm gonna give you a couple pieces of information and some things to help out the criminals out there. Uh, Bro, the number one thing that I have a problem with is that this dude is 21, bro, or 22, excuse me. And he committed this offense when he was a teenager. And the enemy consistently works against my people. And when I say my people, I'm not talking about black people. I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about people that come from an impoverished background, a disenfranchised background. My people, whether you be Asian or Latino or Hispanic, just not knowing the law. Okay. The thing about this interview was he was talking about things just like a lot of people do um, from his past. His past meaning him being a minor. Now, I know that he didn't do those things to clout chase or to seem tougher than what he actually is, but a lot of you dudes do this, which is really not to be said, especially if you think that you're gonna eventually get into some kind of criminal acts or you're gonna have to defend yourself at some point. Okay, a lot of you niggas go on there. Okay, so when did you actually hop off the porch? Hop off? What you mean, crawl off the porch? I caught my first body. I was like two. Wait a minute, so you weren't walking at the age of two? No, man, my mom was on drugs. My daddy was in and out of jail. And my grandma, she had to make a way for us, so she didn't have time to teach me how to walk. She was putting packs in my diapers, so she couldn't teach me how to okay, so you said your first body. That's the first body they know about. My first body was when I was like 3, 4. Okay, so you caught your first body at 3 or 4 years, or 3 or 4 years, months, nigga. I've been clapping stuff since I was 3 or 4 months. They actually had to wake me up out my nap, and don't stop doing that, bro. Because now what you're doing is you're revealing information that legally nobody can access. If you committed a crime before the age of 17 and you were not charged as an adult, bro, and you went to juvie, they legally can't access that information unless you lead them to believe that you're a repeat offender and you've been doing this since you were a child, bro. So, for example, let me tell you this. If we didn't know bro from the Pop Smoke situation, he said that he had burglaries, robberies, and attempts on people's lives that he got convicted for as a child. Now, let's say he actually made it as a rapper or an influencer, some kind of entertainer. If he ended up, let's say, in a robbery situation, they might give him probation, a slap on the wrist. But now, since we know that you've been doing this since you were 14, 15 years old, now they could use that information to say that you're a habitual offender. You've been doing this since you were a child. There's nothing that's going to stop you. There's no amount of time that they could give you to make you a regular person or rehabilitate you. So you might as well just give him the maximum because he's been doing this ever since he was a kid. He said this on the interview. He's been doing this ever since he was a kid. Lock him up, give him the max. Whereas if you just be a little discreet about your past history, bro, they'll treat you like a regular person. They're not going to treat you like a career criminal. Okay? Now, if you do have that kind of history or you do have that type of background, what do? You monetize it, bro. How do you do that? Say it in your music, especially if you're from California or one of those states where your what you say in your music is protected. I think Georgia might be one, or New York, or one of the Carolinas. I don't know. I should do the research. I didn't. But if they ask you questions about any crimes or any times you got locked up when you were a child, bro, put it in the music and say, nah, I don't want to talk about that. If you listen to this song, if you listen to this song, if you listen to this mixtape, I tell all about my childhood and the mixtape and the music. Okay? That way you get paid for it, and legally you are protected by the law. They can't consider that evidence for if you get locked up or if you do something along those lines again. Get paid for off of that. Make a matter of fact, make a whole mixtape where you're talking about all the criminal stuff you did when you were a child. You could name it as a child. You could name it a Crip's childhood or Pyru since I was in Pampers. And just talk about the crimes that you did when you were a child in the music, bro. And then better yet, you don't live in one of those states where you could legally talk about that in the music. Record it in California, bro, and then go back to where you came from and just do that. But all it is revealing everything you did since you were born. You did drive-bys when you were in Pampers. You used to steal out the store when you were 6 years old. You went to juvie 5 times before your eighth birthday. Stop saying that, stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb as hell, bro. You don't have to do that. A lot of you niggas do try to do that to look hard. But that doesn't make us think that you're hard or you can't. You definitely had some issues. But a lot of people came from good backgrounds. A lot of people just did what they wanted to do. A lot of people just had that spirit. They just had that demon in them. They just had that angel in them. They just had that vibration that just came from wherever. Okay. Now you might say to yourself, but Aaron Moses, you talk about what you used to do when you were a minor. First of all, nigga, I'm not a criminal. I'm not in the streets, and that's not my image. I'm on here trying to help the youth. I'm on here trying to help people who are just intrigued by these types of topics and these types of situations. I'm on here not committing a crime and not portraying myself as a criminal. Okay, that's number one. So me getting locked up or that coming back to bite me or haunt me or anything like that is very slim. Okay, very slim chance that's gonna happen. Number two is I never got convicted for anything that you can't find out about as a juvenile. When I did time, oh, not, excuse me, I never did any time or any, I never had any convictions as a juvenile. When I got caught with that little burglary, that happened when I was 15, okay? But they waited until I was an adult to charge me as an adult. So that was an adult type of situation. And again, that's not gonna happen. I don't plan on burglarizing anything. I don't plan on committing any crimes outside of getting a traffic ticket, or my tags might expire. I don't know about it, or I might get into some kind of. But I'm not a criminal, bro. I'm not a criminal, and the whole juvenile stuff, that's public record. Your juvenile record is not public record, bro. So don't speak on it, because if you do, like I said, I'm gonna just repeat it again. Because if you do get in a situation where they say, hey, this dude has been getting into felonious, violent situations since he was 13. How do you know that? Well, he said it on an interview. Now they could open up your juvenile stuff unless you got it sealed. Sometimes even if you did get it sealed, and they could slam you. Now this dude, he seemed like a cool, chill type of dude. You know, he was very mellow, very laid back, very down to earth. He also, was high, is what he said came out of his mouth. So at the end of the day, that's not the best. That's not the best type of situation that you want to put yourself in. You have no legal representation. Do I like to bet? No, I'm not a betting person, and I don't watch BET. He had no legal representation, which he totally should have had at least one of the big homies on there with him, okay? Because what he did was not the most rational thing to do. No disrespect to him. He seemed like he was highly intelligent, okay? He said he was a nerd, which of course I respect as a nerd myself. But You had no legal representation. You weren't even sober minded, which is both of those things, bad idea, bro. And the fact that, he said he had a plan, he didn't reveal what those plans were. As far as him being a rapper, entertainer, actor, anything. So his intentions might have been one thing, or if he had a clear plan, another thing. Now, if they had Sharp on there instead of Remo, I don't know. Remo, he's not a bad person or anything like that. He just seems a little something. His energy is something. I don't know what it is. It's not the most inviting energy to me. But I don't think he's working for the enemy. The enemy's definitely using Remo. The enemy's definitely working through Remo. Who is the enemy? The enemy is anybody who is okay with, or anybody who would prefer, anybody who profits or benefits from black men being jailed or being removed, being deleted. Okay, that's the enemy. And these are enemy esque questions. Okay. So, anyway, him saying that he didn't regret it. I don't even want to. I know he said that he was not sorry, and I get that, bro. I get that. That I got the same type of teachings from my mom. She would say, "You're not sorry because if you were sorry, you wouldn't have did it. So don't say you're sorry and don't apologize for certain things." I totally get that, but those teachings were from 10, 20 years ago. In his case, 10 years ago, maybe close to 20. Okay, that same teaching that younger version of your parent taught you, she or he probably wouldn't have told you that same thing if they had the wisdom that they have right now. They definitely wouldn't tell you to go on a platform with millions of people subscribe to it. Millions of people, quarter million people watch this thing in less than 24 hours. And a lot of those people, well, I don't want to say a lot, a good amount of the people who are going to see this are going to be people who work in the judicial system, the police, lawyers, the DA, judges. Hearing you say, "Well, I'm not sorry. I mean, I feel horrible, but I'm not sorry." That doesn't go together, bro. That's not what it is. You don't say stuff like that when it comes to the situation you were involved in. Like, of course, if you don't want to look soft in front of these people. You know what I mean? You don't want to look like you have certain types of regrets, and I get it. But the future is now, bro. You just spoke something crazy into your future. Hopefully not. But at the end of the day, it's not even just about the legal representation watching this. It's about his loved ones, bro. How would you feel if somebody went on camera and high, not thinking about what they were saying to the fullest, the most healthy extent that they could, saying that they were not sorry? And you didn't even know this dude. You didn't even know his image. You thought he was a model. You just felt bad that you had to go to prison. And I mean, granted, you did say you didn't get the best punishment. You feel like you should have got a little bit more time or what have you. But no, that's not what you say, bro. This is why Sharp should have definitely been there. He would have at least not asked police type of questions, and he wouldn't have asked you something that would have led you to the point of you saying that you're not sorry for doing it. I was waiting on bro to say I'm not sorry and I'll do it again. Like that's what it sounded like you were about to say, bro. But I do understand having that teaching that's very toxic for black men to have to not be sorry. You did it, stand on it. Yeah, but millions of people are gonna see this. Millions of people are. What's today? Friday. Before next Friday, millions of people are gonna see this, bro. That's a definite. If they would have dropped this on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning, it would have been at a million by Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning, for sure. Probably Tuesday, 10 o'clock at night, for sure. So that definitely wasn't a good move. We got people like Adam just interviewed some mafia dudes who were talking about how disorganized and animalistic and uncivil that black gangsters are. Okay, these same people. told on a whole bunch of people. I don't know how many bunch of people. Telling on one person is a whole bunch of people to tell on, bro, especially when you're a criminal. And the fact that we have this type of situation presenting itself, it doesn't necessarily make us look. I'm not against it though, so it doesn't. I don't really have a dog in this fight, but just proving them right to the extent that you do, it's just not a good look, bro. And I'm not saying that they're right, because that's a racist, very prejudiced type of outlook to have on a whole race of people that are a whole organization of people, a whole organization and a whole race. It's just not good, bro. It's just not good at all. But yeah, I don't think that was a good interview at all, bro. Hey, what's going down? I'm just talking about this situation where bro is just man, he ducked and dodged some of those questions, but the whole thing about him being a juvenile, I definitely. It's just like I'm looking at this, and the whole time I'm thinking, where are the big homies, bro? I hear somebody talking in the background, but if he would have had that little Dirt King Von where he was coughing when he was saying whatever King Von was about to say or getting to, where he was checking them, like, bro, no, don't answer that. Even if you would have for real, like, no, don't answer that. So when's the last time you got locked up? Don't answer that. What happened in that situation? Don't answer that. He said he was gonna go to the car and do something to me, so I did something first. Nah, don't say stuff like that, bro. They don't need to know any of that. That's sealed information. That's information that legally nobody can access. Maybe not even you. You feel me? But this is where we need the OGs. This is where we need this whole structure thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not from California. I'm not from LA. So I don't understand the politics. I don't understand the hierarchy if there is one, but there definitely needs to be one, bro. Like, who told you it was okay to do this? Who advised you to go and who didn't stop you from smoking however many blunts or blunts that you smoked? Like, no representation, bro. No representation. This is definitely something that should have been handled a lot more carefully. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. This is where we are. And I hope bro actually gets something from this. Going on there saying that he wasn't sorry, going on there telling his whole past, not really. It seemed very like he didn't have a plan. Like, you know what I mean? And that's very typical for our people. Going in there with these people who do this for hours a day, every day, asking these questions, asking this incriminating line of questions like what I don't know. I mean, would I have done the same thing? I definitely would have done. I would have done the same thing at the age of 22 had I been in that situation, and I would have done. I wouldn't have said all because I've known this. I've known these situations because when I was on probation for my stuff, this is exactly what the understanding had was. Don't talk about your juvenile record because nobody can access that. It's nobody's business unless you keep doing the same old thing and they find out through you or some kind of legal documentation that you have been doing this since you were a juvenile. They don't need to know that because they're gonna slam you as an adult when they find out that you have a past doing this since you were a teenager. They're gonna think you're a for real menace. They're gonna think that you're gonna keep doing this and keep doing this. So just give him the maximum amount of time. But yeah, I don't want to keep saying the same thing. Do we have any questions? What's going down? Skip Bandu. We got Cozy. Any questions? Any non-troll questions? All right. I mean, I do want to say RIP Pop Smoke. That's the only thing. I mean, him just going on and on about his past, not feeling sorry or not being sorry. I do want to say, I mean, as far as his struggle with people getting mad at him for doing what he did or being present as far as that, and then people trying to still having to represent, bro. I really do salute dude for getting out of jail. I do want to go to Texas. I want to move to Texas. I want to move to either Killeen or Austin or really just Houston, bro. I want to be in the biggest city. But him just distancing himself from the situation, not knowing what was going on, um, and all of that. I think he did great with that. Him just seeming remorseful on one end, but on the other end feeling very nonchalant about it. And he was also off of that. He was just also high, so we can't really get the full character. We can't get the full person with him being in that altered state of mind or anything like that. But other than that, I would have to say he did an okay job. Other than all the incriminating stuff that he might have said as far as his gang affiliation, as far as his activities, him feeling torn between do I try to be remorseful and just let them know I am a human, I didn't mean for this to happen. No, I don't know who this guy was. I didn't know how much I affected his fans. I don't feel like my life is in danger because I'm just this hard. Like I think he should have gave it like another month, bro. I think number one, he should have gave it another month, and he should have gave them the questions that he wanted to answer. And the fact that he didn't have anything going on as far as a career, how you're gonna use this clout, how you're gonna use this energy. If he would have had a real direction with how he was gonna use this, it would have went a lot better. He could have stretched this interview out for a good 2 years if he wanted to. If he would have actually worked on some kind of brand or business or some kind of remote business or some kind of location indiscriminate business, he could have built that business up because there was a lot of people who cheered when Pop Smoke got smoked. It was a lot of people who were thankful. He had a lot of haters. He had a lot of haters. He had a lot of people who didn't want to see him win. He had a lot of people who were relieved that he passed away. So definitely could have monetized off that in a different way. Like, look, I got my own clothing brand. It's called something. I was gonna say something disrespectful. I got my own clothing brand. I got my own trucking business. I got my own whatever. You could order it here, and this is why I'm on here because I want to talk about this. I also want to benefit from this. I don't just want to get more followers. I don't want to get more hate DMs. I don't want to get more. I don't want to have more reasons for me to be more paranoid. Because bro, you got a name. You're from the most hated gang in LA, and you did something to somebody who had millions of fans. Definitely could have monetized that because if you come on there, let's say if you come on there in another 6 months or another year, it's not gonna smack like that, bro. Definitely should have had a brand together. Definitely should have had a real reason besides. But who knows? Who knows? Just because he didn't advertise whatever he had going on, because he didn't have anything going on, just because he didn't do that, it really doesn't. It doesn't really speak to the fact that he didn't. I'm not talking about me, bro. I'm talking about I'm talking about the Adam 22 no jumper interview with the dude who was present during the deletion of Pop Smoke. But I'm about to end this right here and go ahead and let you guys comment. Make sure you like this video before you get out of here. And that's it, man. Be safe, be smart, man, when you do these people's interviews. All right. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang together, man. Your life's in the breath. Breathe it in, protect yourself. Peace.